So, as those of you who have watched my channel know that I'm in the middle of moving my Sling TSI half-built plane to my new home and hangar. There is nothing in the manual on how to load and relocate a Sling TSI fuselage, but what I did was I rented from Sunbelt Rentals a flatbed. This is a 16-footer. I'd actually reserved an 18-footer, but I guess when they pulled it out, it had a bearing issue or something and they had to deadline it, so they gave me the best thing they had, which was a 16. And this tilts, so you pull a pin at the front and the deck goes down to the ground, so you can just roll it on. Now, I looked at lots of trailers online and none of them were wide enough to have the tires normally and fit on a flatbed trailer. I know people who do with the build centers, they use like a flatbed wrecker, but I determined that a flatbed wrecker would probably cost me a lot of money to drive 3.5 hours north. So I decided I would do it myself. I rented this flatbed, but I took the wheels off and I reversed them. So you can see they both are on the wrong side. But that gave me a lot of extra space and it just rolled right on. And the trailer came with some really heavy duty chains and like these tie downs that almost make me nervous because they're so heavy. But I attached them to the wing spacer with not a lot of force on it. And then I used multiple ratchet straps. And then this is a bucket of sand to help keep the nose, since I don't have the engine on here. And then I have the wheel pressed in pretty good. And I have some wheel chocks here. Now in a minute, I'm gonna slide one of the two wings underneath this and tie it down. And then we'll be ready for transport. My wife's gonna be driving right behind me, so if we start seeing anything do anything weird, we can stop, pull in somewhere, and we can adjust. Now, I was a little wary about having the wind blow through because I don't have any of the glass installed yet. So I wrapped it with, I don't know, hundreds of feet of moving plastic wrap. And as you can see, we have it crisscrossing all sorts of different directions. And I thought that would keep the air from moving through it. We'll just have to see once we get up to speed how it does. It may be in a tatters by the time I get to my new house, but we'll see. There's no manual on this, so I was afraid a tarp might damage things. If it started flapping, it might hurt the fiberglass, the aluminum. So anyway, this is where we're at, and I'll do a recap once we get to the new place and let you know how it went. And I'll show some pictures of video of the wing up underneath here when I get that loaded in just a minute. So I've added the wing. We tightened up the chains. They shouldn't get anywhere near that, but I wrapped them in bubble wrap just to make me feel better. I don't think it would help if it really hit it, but some of this is to make me feel better. And I got multiple, four different straps holding the wing in place, which actually helps hold the wheel in place as well. So here we are. This is in final travel mode. We're gonna be getting on the road here in just a minute. So it's gonna get a lot of weird looks as we go down the highway. So I got my plane fuselage to my new hangar. That was one trip. And then I did another trip with a flatbed trailer and got my golf cart and my mower and a bunch of other stuff. I also have the engine, some of the avionics, and it doesn't appear that I have any ill effects, except that I had this bucket full of sand to help counterbalance, and some of that sand blew out through these holes, and now I have sand in here, so I've got to vacuum all that out. And I probably need to add a few more pounds to this just to make sure I stay counterbalanced. Finish pulling the plastic off, and I just cut the plastic, but I need to finish getting rid of it. The only advice I would say, so this plastic is like 18-inch wide packing, like movers saran wrap. And it worked pretty good where I put tape on it to reinforce it. But I used an entire roll of Packers tape. And wherever the tape was, the plastic stood up fine. But where I didn't use the tape, over the 3.5-hour drive at 70 miles an hour, some of it, it shredded, didn't really shred, it just kind of got loose and stretched. So if you ever do this, which I don't recommend, coat all of your plastic with tape to reinforce it, just to keep it from separating and stuff. So anyway, I'm happy. I got one of the wings. I still got to get the second wing. And I got some of my tables. So we're making progress. And I am on the way for another load of plane parts. I've got a couple more crates to grab on the flatbed. So that's today's mission, and that'll pretty much finish me up.